Howdy everybody, happy Sunday. Welcome to Pierce, South Dakota, and day 5 of the 20 planes in 20 days celebration. This should be a fun one. It's a two-hopper from Pierre to Rapid City and then Rapid City down to Denver, Colorado. Let's get started. Great to have everybody along. Eventually, anyway. I'm going to jump right in here. This is the CaptainSim 737-200. I do have the GPU attached and some ground power going as well as the battery. And I think we'll go ahead and get everything else rocking and rolling here as well. I do have my fuel already set in addition to that. Hydraulic pumps are all on. I got to see where I left this baby. Emergency lights are coming on. And we will turn the fasten seatbelt and no smoking signs on. And behind the first officer, we're going to make sure this master switch right here is on. It is. We do have ATC tonight. Denver Center is. Yep, it's still on. 3560. Not sure if I have them quite yet. Denver Center, United 1860. Sorry, 816.
Noted 816, Denver Center.
Yes, sir. On the ground, Pierce, South Dakota, with the weather requesting IFR clearance to Rapid City. I think I'm in their airspace. I'm not in Minneapolis airspace here still, am I?
United 816. What is the departure airport I cover code?
Kilo Papa India Romeo. You know what? Actually looks like I might be in Minneapolis airspace, Denver. I apologize for that, United 816.
Yeah, I'm also looking at I believe you're not in Minneapolis. You're in somewhere.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. United 816. Yeah, very good. On the Vatastic map, it kind of...
United 816. Yes, you are at Minneapolis airport.
All right, we'll check in with you when we're airborne. United 816. Thanks. Just outside, and I guess I could have looked at...
Denver Center, Southwest 1427, 503.
Could have looked at the chart
14.
there. That would have been the other smart thing to do, but that's okay. We'll go 2280, and like I say, we'll give that guy a call once we get airborne. So the flight route today, very simple. It's just Rapid City VOR and then direct. And so a short first leg, 36 minutes or so is all we need. So we will be transponder 220. And let's see. Don't know if I quite have the... Can I grab that? We'll have to make sure we're on. There we go. TA and RA. We look over here at the VSI and it tells us what mode we're in. So I think we're good there. Our takeoff EPR is, we have a maximum of 210. So we'll set that. No more than 210. Okay. That looks good. Comm frequency set 2280. And again, we need to tune in the Rapid City VOR 112.3. So a simple flight plan, which will be good for us because it should hopefully help us get dialed back in. It's been a little while since we've flown this plane. Weather, let's check weather real quick. It's gusty out, as you could see from that initial shot. Look at the wing bouncing around here. That's because it's winds are 180 at 2-1, gusting 2-9er. We do have scattered clouds at 10,000, broken at 12, broken at 20. We have filed at 240. So we will run into a little bit of this. And 29er 58 is also information that we need there. So let's set that. All right. I think we're about ready to get the engine started here. Pretty simple startup procedure. Put the yaw damper on, put fuel pumps on. I do have fuel in all three pumps. I have enough fuel to get us to Rapid City and then to Denver, so both legs. I'm not going to refuel in Rapid City. Window heat will come on. The packs can come on. ISO valve is on auto. Engine bleeds are all off. The APU bleed is off. Flight altitude is going to be 260. And Rapid City, what are we? 1800? What are we here? Oh, 3204, a little higher than I thought. 3204. So we'll set our cabin altitude to be somewhere kind of around 5,000. That ought to be comfortable for everybody. Pier is a little bit lower right now. They are 1744. So yeah, we can set that altitude 5,000. That should be good. Anti-collision light is on. Position light is on. We will set actually no, 260 is our altitude. So we're going to put this, we'll leave this on. This is just an alert. It doesn't really set the altitude, but we'll leave it on. We'll get the alert at 10,000, then we'll spin that up to 260 when we are through 10,000. Altimeter we have set in there. Heading, so we need to figure out here from Pierre, South Dakota, what we are doing to depart into this wind. So it looks like we could come up here, depart runway 13. So we'll set that heading at 135. We are actually right here, so it's a fairly short taxi over here to, looks like, is that Lima? What is that? India. No, those aren't I's. Come on. Bravo to whatever this little cut across taxiway is, and then we're good to go. All right, 135. And then again here, I don't know if I've shown this yet or not, but fairly well due west. There's Rapid City VOR. We make a little short turn. We find the Rapid City Airport. We're going to do our best not to confuse Rapid City with Ellsworth Air Force Base, which does happen from time to time. Ellsworth sits just north of the Rapid City Regional Airport, so I'm trying to make sure we don't do that. And probably one of my favorite features here are the old air stairs, but time to put those guys back. I'm sure you guys remember the old air stairs days. This is the plane of my youth, no doubt about it. This is what I remember traveling back and forth to my grandparents' house in South Dakota, and they actually did fly these routes. It's pretty crazy to think about it, but you know, 3 hoppers from the middle of Wyoming to the middle of South Dakota, and they would make 2 stops. And we're not going all the way back to the middle of Wyoming, but we are going to kind of trace back like 2 of the 3 stops that we normally would get when we're flying back from South Dakota to Wyoming. All right, doors closed. Jetway, we don't have a jetway, and let's start the APU. JPC, how are you, man? Recovered from all the FNO, well, sorry, not the FNO, the CTP madness, I hope. There we go. We've got APU online. We're going to come up here. We're going to make sure these packs, let's put the Gasper fan on actually first. Packs coming off. Engine bleeds will come on. APU bleed also on. There comes our pressure, and then we're ready to give number 2 a turn there. Bobcat 20, good evening, sir. Spooling up engine 2 on the old 737-200. Go. Introduce the fuel. Much needed day of rest from the sim. Yep. Oh yeah, ready for the Bush League event tomorrow. Very, very good. Very good. Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it myself. Canyonlands Challenge. Alright, everything looks stabilized there. Good start on number 2. Let's go number 1. Looking for 20 right there. There we go. Hey, Rob Valkyrie. All right. Hey, not a problem, man. Have fun. Have fun. Yep, Bobcat. I hope you can make it. It's a lot of fun. They always are. And we just get a little bit better, I think, every month. So hope you can join us as well. All right, we have a good start on 1 and 2. Pitos can come on. Don't need any anti-ice just now. That's all right here. Packs can come back on. APU bleeds. The gens can be turned off. APU can be turned off. APU bleeds can be turned off. Excuse me. APU bleeds can be turned off. And all the electrical hydros are still on, confirming that. Alright, so no takeoff clearance, like I say, none needed. We're going to just put the taxi lights on and make our way to runway, what'd I say, 13? This is going to be a little bit of a crosswind departure. Yep, looks like it's just a right turn. I used to park us far enough away from the terminal building that all you had to do was just turn, as the plane never had. There was no pushback or anything, so hopefully we'll be able to clear. Gonna be close. Oh, watch out, dude! Don't get run over. There we go. I think we're gonna be good. Those guys are getting a good view of the bottom of the wing. They'll get a little bit of a jet blast there, but I think we're ready to rock and roll. Alright, 1-3. Maybe I need to go down here to catch the yeah, I actually will. So this scenery doesn't exactly match up with my airport diagram, but I'm going to take every bit of runway I can. This thing doesn't exactly spool up the fastest, and we're running with a pretty good load of fuel today, so let's give ourselves as much of this runway as we can. Alright, this looks like our turn. They're marking this Alpha. We'll take that. And Pier Traffic United 816. We are holding short runway 13, Pier. Alright, stop there. Let's just make sure we have everything ready to go. We need the flaps set to 5. Our transponder is TARA. Controls are good. Taxi lights can stay on, and we'll turn the landing lights on as well. And we will turn our weather on. Normal. Let that guy power up a little bit. We'll add some brightness to that screen. You never know, we may need it. Right now it doesn't look too bad where we're heading into Rapid City, but there's going to be some weather as we make our way down to Denver. So we'll pay attention though. If we get into the clouds here, it's definitely cold enough that we could have some icing. So we'll, like I say, we'll monitor that and just make sure. Engine switches come to continuous. Takeoff lights on. Okay, I think we're ready to go. We're looking for max EPR 2.10. That's set. We're looking for a rotation speed of 150. At Pier Traffic United 816. We're departing runway 13, IFR to the west, Pier. So it's going to be a right-hand turn for us, and we will pick up. Do I have Rapid City VOR tuned in? I think I do. Let's just double check that real fast here. 112.3. Yep, I do have that in. It's not showing up just yet, so we may have to fly. Might have to fly a little bit to the west before we're able to pick that up. Okay. Final is clear. Can't tell about the runway. Not making a great turn here. Get around there. I don't have the differential thrust set on my throttle quad. It's just, I don't know if it's the age of my throttle quadrant or the just the quality of it, but it just doesn't handle that very well. I wish I had something that was a little more conducive to that, especially for a plane like this. Okay, lined up, and that's our before takeoff checklists. I have 2 good engines. Bring the thrust lever forward steadily. As you can see, this is a plane that takes a little while. That's what you get if you push forward just a little too fast. Looks like that's going to be takeoff power set. Airspeed is alive. V1 and rotates. Positive rate, gear coming up. Alright, make our turn. Get ourselves heading the direction we need to head. There comes the Rapid City VOR. We're just generally head kind of 240 right now. Looks like I need to do a little bit of adjusting with the course, but we'll get ourselves stabilized in the climb. 240, get all that stuff ready to go, and then we'll see where we need to be in terms of our VOR heading. There's 210. All right. All right, bring the continuous cruise power back to about 200. Go ahead and engage the autopilot and heading mode. Climb power is set, and let's bring the course knob around. Let's just tune direct Rapid City. We don't necessarily need to follow a VOR per se. There we go. That looks pretty good. Got heading around. VOR lined up, and we'll engage VOR localizer. All right, and we're on our way to Rapid City, South Dakota. Black Hills country. From the state capital to the Black Hills of South Dakota. Coming up on 10,000. You heard the altitude alert. Oops. Landing lights can come off. Taxi light, runway turn-off lights will come off. Engine continuous ignition switches off. Some guys checking in there. Sorry, I haven't been over to the chat for a little bit, but looks looks like there's some activity over there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and level off the descent or the climb just a little bit here so we can pick up some speed. I love this old school 737-200. There's no vertical speed wheel. There's a pitch control, but I can't make it work. But you control your climb just by nudging forward on the flight yoke, and then when the autopilot's engaged, just holds that attitude for you. It's pretty darn cool. Hello, everybody who's popped in on the chat. I'll see who's who in just a second. I want to get my climb speed up just a little bit here. And actually, we're climbing at about 290. That's not too bad. Right into the sun. It'll be pretty dark by the time we get to Denver, I think, tonight. All right, there's 300. So we'll pull back up and see about see what 3,000 feet per minute does. We're a little bit. We want 200 for the APR on the continuous climb. Let's see how close we can get that. And then we'll have our climb power going 100 miles essentially from Rapid City. Well, excuse me, from the Rapid City VOR, which is right there by Rapid City. All right, what is going on here? Let's see. Al South MIA checking in. Hey, Al South. Downwind Sim, how are you, sir? It's doing great. I'm doing great over here, by the way. Give me a brief on the autopilot of this thing. Well, here it is. It's pretty simple. You have manual mode, which you control the heading right here, heading on, heading off. As soon as you go to VOR localizer mode, it uses the radio navigation to control your heading, essentially. Auto approach, manual glide slope, and then you have to engage the aileron and the elevator. And once you put those two things up, your autopilot is on. As you can see right now, we're in VOR localizer mode. We also have a flight director that does all the same stuff, but it's just for monitoring purposes. Oh yeah, I was going to come down here and I was going to give myself an altitude alert. I'm flying at 240. So we'll set that. And alright, speed's dropping a little bit here, so I'm going to decrease my rate of climb. Just push the nose down ever so slightly to about where you want it. Release the yoke. And since the elevator switch is engaged, it basically just stops that angle, and then you just climb out at whatever that is. And so we just, again, we're looking for something around 300 on the climb out. We're through 19.5. Oh, so I should set my pressure to standard. There we go. And yeah, so other than that, it's kind of your standard slant whiskey equipment here. That's about it. Pretty simple, pretty fun. Northwest Orient. Yeah, the skinnier the engine, the better. That's right. Yeah, you know what's up. Look at that. Look at those little canister engines. Moon in the background. Heck yeah, look at that. A black smoke. Oh my goodness. These were not fuel efficient. But pretty amazing. Those little, they just look so teensy tiny compared to today's. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Altitude stuff mainly. All right, what are we talking about here? If you ever looks at the chat, activity. Nobody here but us chickens. That's kind of the usual, my man. pitch command only serves as a guide. Oh, so it's kind of like all the rest of this autopilot stuff. Yeah, well, good. I don't feel so bad, Northwest Orient, then. Because I've been looking for a way, you know, some kind of a trim wheel, but I can't ever find one. Don't ask me why. I want to know, Downwind Sim asks. Well, probably because it's in that CaptainSim 737-200 that you're wanting to buy. I think things are pretty similar. This stuff, though, look at the exposed wires, and that can't be safe. There's 1,000 to go. It's part of the glare shields wearing. Love it. Love it. So to set the altitude, we come over here to this side. We have an altitude off and then altitude hold button. We have a turbulence button here as well that we can use. And then we just kind of, I like to lean it forward a little bit to steady it out some. And then when you hit 24,000, you just flip it over. It stops the climb, and it might do one of these with the nose a little bit here. And it might not be right exactly on 240, but it gets you pretty darn close. Yeah, the 727. Now that's really something. This one is simple compared to that baby. You know, no engineer's panel. All that stuff is automated. And none of this where you're having to look down to you know, turn the autopilot on and change the heading and change the mode and all that. Nothing down here but your comms, your radios, things like that, Bobcat. So it's really a nice piece of engineering. All right, so yeah, I'm thinking about 0.72. Excuse me, will be good. Right now we're our EPR, what are we? 197. We'll probably back that off to 185 or so. We'll just slowly decrease that, make sure we don't overspeed. Try to get our speed under control. All right, that looks closer. Keep bringing it down, maybe more like 180. Every flight is a little different. It depends on the temperature. It depends on the weight of your total zero fuel weight, and depends on your payload. It depends on the weather, the wind, all those things. So you just try to kind of get it. I'm making pretty good time right now, actually almost 0.74. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Well, the nice part about this flight is sooner get going than you have to check on your arrival into Black Hills. So no arrivals to speak of, but we do need to figure out weather perspective, kind of what's going on. 190 at 6, so it's a little bit calmer here. Overcast at 10,000, but landing and departing to the south. So what does Rapid City have to offer? Looks like 14 is going to be our best bet. All right, so what do I have? I have RNAV. Well, I do have a VOR to 14. Ooh, so I have a chance to try to fly a little DME arc here. That should be tricky. What is this? A 16 DME arc off of the Rapid City 112.3 VOR. All right, and that should be. Looks like we get down here at 5,600 for that. Is that right? Yep, 5,600. Oh boy. All right. Well, we'll give her the old college try. That's for sure. So here's our countdown. When we get to 16, we need to start. We need to make our way. So we're working off a 072 radial. So I do need to kind of get that set because we want to intercept that at a 90 degree. So that's the first thing. Let's get on course here. I said we didn't need a particular radial, but we do. So right now we're actually inbound off of like a 069. So let me spin that course a couple of clicks. There's 70, 1 and 2, and it's making a little bit of an adjustment, kind of sliding over to the left to pick up that radial. And then so 90 degrees. Be a right-hand turn here. Now let's get sorted out. So let's see, I'm thinking in my head here 342, 72 minus 90 degrees. Does that sound right? 342? Can I have some double checking on the math in the chat room right there? And no pressure, but we only have like 20 miles to double check that, so yeah. If we could get those calculators out, fantastic. All right, we're getting ourselves established, and if we need to get down to 5,600, I actually think it's time to do that already. We're only 40 miles out, which means that we're less than 20 miles to the DME arc that we need to be tracking. So this is one of those planes that kind of does the old S-turn thing as it tries to pick up the DME. So we're going to just put it on heading mode here. Sorry, tries to pick up the radial. So we'll just put it on heading mode. See what happens. All right, power's coming down. Let's go ahead and ease the nose forward. About 2,000 feet per minute would be a good rate of descent. Nudge it forward just a little bit more. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm thinking in my head. Run those numbers again, JPC said. 072 minus 90. Now you got me worried. What did I say? I was saying 342. Is that not right? Is that not right? It was 80 degrees and I took 90 away. That'd be, oh, just run them again. Okay, yeah, 342. Thank you. I was thinking if it's 80 degrees, then it'd be 350. Okay, okay. So we're on the VOR. So I'm going to take my heading knob over here to 342. We are on the descent. And 1, 2. Okay, right to there. I'm getting a, what am I getting? I had a little had a little error there. Glide power or ground power available. Why is the ground power? Did I? Oh, jeez. I got out of there with the external power still turned on. So that's the only downfall to this. Well, not the only, but one of the quirky things is you don't actually physically see the GPU anywhere. And So usually when I close the doors and the air stairs on any other plane, I see that GPU out there, but I totally missed it on my checklist here. That's a bad job. That was a bad job. All right, let's brief the approach here. At some point, we're going to have to check in with Denver Center as well. I think. Oh no, we don't, because he went offline. Never mind. So I do need the 112.3 is actually the. Yeah, that's actually going to be my VOR for the approach. Also, 141 will be the angle. So, all right. We're pretty well set up. We just kind of have to get down to where we need to be. And Rapid City 2961. I don't feel like I'm going to be down low enough. Just like I'm going to have to be still descending in my arc, which is not ideal. I guess if I had to, I could just come in and fly it like a regular traffic pattern, but where's the fun in that? Yeah, we're going to be a little bit high when we start this thing, but that's okay. I'm actually going to start the turn at 20 because it takes me a little while to get this guy turned. Okay, so heading select. Start the turn, baby. Manual mode. Heading select is on. At Rapid City traffic, United 816. We're 18 miles east of the field, descending through 14,000 on the VOR approach runway 14, Rapid City. So hopefully we'll get turned before this gets to 16. And forgive me, Rob, I'm not going to hand fly this one. I'm going to do the old fly and turn approach. So on our way around, yeah, we're not going to be too bad. That was a pure estimation. So I'll take that. Looks like we're below the ceiling. So I will also take that. And yeah, maybe we got inside the loop just a little bit here. So we'll fly this leg for a little bit of extra time, but not bad. 16. We're pretty well on the money here, guys. There's 16.1. So let's spin it 10 degrees and let's see what happens. My speed is 250, so as I get below 10,000, I'll be okay. I'm going to go ahead and just put the lights on because I'll forget if I don't, and I'll put the engines to continuous. Oh, 16.7. Now I'm getting a little too far out. So let's spin it another 10 or 12 degrees actually. Don't want to get, yeah, see, I'm a mile outside. Now I've gotten too wide. I need to cut this back in just a little bit. Still losing some ground to that, so I'm going to keep the turn going. About 10 degrees at a time until I start to see that DME sort of stabilize at 16. Well, at least I'm stabilized. Nope, still not. All right, let's keep it going. 310. What did I say my course needed to be? 141. Let's get the course spun around here so we know where we're heading. Jeez, I'm still outside. I'm going a little fast, I think, is the other problem here. So it's going to be not the prettiest DME. It's going to be more of a DME oval than a DME arc. 17.4. Am I bringing that in yet? Nope, not yet. Let's keep it going. So I don't know if you can picture this. I'm actually a little wider, like the arc line is in here and I'm out here because I need to be in at 16. And I'm starting to come in now. That's cool. Let's keep it going. There's 7,900. I need to be at 5,600 by the way. That's when I'm going to click back on the altitude hold. Now we're getting back in under 17. That's a good sign. 16.8. I'm going to keep it coming. Another one. We're getting close to 5,600. Speed still looks pretty good. It's maybe a hair fast. I'm 252. 16.4. Okay, now maybe I've cut it in a little bit too close. So I'm gonna let it run straight on the 270 here, and hopefully I haven't cut that in too much. Maybe I have. There's 16. Uh-oh, yep. So now I actually cut in, and now I'm a little too close. I overcorrected slightly, but yeah, it's all part of the experience, honey. Let's get to 56, and hopefully this will get back out to 16 here pretty soon. We're going to go altitude hold here in 3, 2, 1 now. 56-ish hundred. Get our speed set. I'd like something around like 210 or so if I could. Ooh, we way cut that in. We're at 15 now. We really cut the corner there. Yeah, so we just overcorrected. No, we're even too far in now. Well, we'll just keep going west, and eventually, so we're in here now, and the arc is going to come back around and meet us, and then we'll get back on. It's an inexact science for me. It's an exact science for people who know what they're doing. But the basic idea here is you stay, there's the airport right there, is you stay the same distance away from the airport throughout your entire turn. By the way, that's Ellsworth Air Force Base. You don't want to land there. Alright, 14.7. Are we starting to come back out yet? As soon as that starts to come back out, I'll continue my turn. There we go, 14.8. So yeah, we're going to be inside that 16. There's no doubt about it. Let's let that get back up to 15.5 or so. Now, the other way we could have flown this, I guess, is we could have flown direct Rapid City and then flown the back course. But you know, where's the fun in that? All right, speed is maybe a little slow here. I'm kind of pitching up. Let's get 210. We'll put a notch of flaps in here. We'll go flaps 2 and maybe get the nose down just a bit. All right, there we go. There's 15. We'll turn 10. And then again, as this is coming around, this is what we want to intercept inbound. So we want to, you know, try to do our best when we get close to perpendicular there. We'll just cut it in here and just activate our auto approach, which is up here. No glide slope yet. Flying the old 15.4 DME arc, just like the chart suggests. Titanium Druid, hello. How are you doing, man? All right, leaving it. Want this to at least get up over 15.5. There we go. 10-degree turn, and we're getting pretty close here. I think in. We need about like 228, I think is perpendicular. So we get maybe this one more 10-degree turn, and then we need to. Oh, there's our VOR. So let's go ahead and crank it through. I think we're going to actually shoot through it a little bit here. So we'll keep the turn going. We're going to be past it, so we'll keep the turn going to 120, and we'll intercept it from the other side. weren't too far off. I'm going to do the auto approach right now. And again, I do not see a glide slope, so there's a possibility this is going to be a step down. Yep, in fact it is. I need to step down. Let me get kind of turned in the right direction here. Man, I am slow. Holy cow, am I slow? Wow, how in the world did I lose track of that? Wow, wow. Where's Downwind Sim telling me to check my airspeed? All right. I do need to descend. Let's descend 4,800 is the next step here. There's our airfield way off in the distance. And as you can see, not really lined up just yet. Alright, I actually think it's going to be maybe easier for me just to try to fly this in by hand. Let's see if we can get on this glide slope. Well, there isn't a glide slope. Let's see if the lights can help us out, because the localizer doesn't appear to be exactly lined up either. So here we go. Downward we go. We're going to go flaps 15 and a little bit high right now, aren't we? Alright, gear down. Kind of has that universal warning horn for everything. I guess maybe that localizer would have been okay here. Some of these add-on sceneries don't always line up. Alright, speed's coming down nicely. Alright, flaps 30. Lights are on. We're back on the glide. Looking for about 160. No landing rate guesses. Sorry tonight, guys. We're in P3D, so I don't have that set up. Yeah, we've gotten a little low here. Yeah, that was pitching up quite a bit. No tail strike. That's a good thing. Way off to the right, though. Wow. All right. Hopefully the landing will be better in Denver. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Are we going to make this one? I think we will. All right. Well, welcome to Rapid City, South Dakota. Nice and short taxi to the gate here. Let's take this minute or two to turn off some lights, and we will attempt. Let's see, I don't even think I need, nope, don't need any taxi lights right now. Turn the weather off. We will attempt to shut down engine number 1 and just do a little quick turnaround like they used to do back in the day. JPC, I paid for the whole runway. I'm going to use the whole runway, man. How many people test out those sides of the runway to make sure they're okay? Yeah, that was not my best landing. Taking notes, I hope. Yeah, oh, the lights are coming on here, Rapid City. kind of got myself a little bit behind the 8-ball when I was my speed had dropped to like 120 as I was turning to intercept the localizer. So that I never really did recover very well from that one. So alright, we're going to come over here, one of these gates. And like I say, we're going to try to shut one of these engines down, which that's the easy part. We're going to try to get the engine started back up after we get passengers loaded. Boy, I don't even know what my frames are right now, but they are choppy. Choppy. Alright, I think we're close enough. Set the parking brake, and we will turn number 1 off. Okay, let's take a second, enjoy the sights and sounds, let folks board and deboard, plane and deplane. I don't know how do you call that exactly, JPC? What's the technical term for that? Let people get on and off. And we'll be back to make our second leg here in just a minute. Clean the flaps up also. All right, JPCO, can't stick around. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, we do have a lot of events coming up that are going to be muy bien. So go get some rest, man. And always good to have you along. All right, let's see. We need to get things going. And first things first, let's push back. Get our brakes turned off, push straight back, and in the process, let's see if we remember how to get this thing started. So we have to cut the packs, we have to make sure the bleeds are on. Let's see if that gets us what we need here. Alright, I think I hear something starting. Yeah, pretty amazing that they used to do these little runs. You know, just when you think about it. Alright, we'll introduce the fuel. And there we go. We are starting up. And I have lost all that. Why have I lost all that? That's not good. That is not good. Downwind sim, let's just say the landing, I've had better. But we made her down safe, and I was just a little bit off to the right hand side, and I ended up kind of a low flat floater approach. But I'm having some issues here because all of a sudden I've lost all my lighting when I restarted. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright, we're back. We're back. We're back. Okay, good deal. So before I get too crazy here, I need to make sure, do we have or do we not have Denver? No, doggone it, Denver has went offline. Well, that's a bummer, but I'm still going to file a new flight plan. I forgot to do that while we were boarding and deboarding. So let's see, for this leg, again, not a whole lot. We're going to be working off the Rapid City VOR, then BFF, then Lander 1. So this is now Rapid City, Denver, and Colorado Springs. We're going to be out of here in the next, 10 minutes. So I'll say 10:10 Zulu. We are going to be, this one we're going to file, I think, a little higher. What do my notes say? Yeah, 300. We'll get up. It's a little bit longer leg. Seems like this one's about an hour and 10 minutes. Let me just double check here. Hour 10 minutes. So we'll actually have a chance to have the flight attendants come around and hand out 7-Ups and peanuts and stuff this time. Alright, filed. We are still United 816, and alright. I forgot to make the call to final, by the way, when I was coming into Rapid City, so that's something else I didn't do a very good job of. Rapid City traffic, United 816 taxiing runway 14 via Alpha. We'll be crossing runway 5, Rapid City. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. First half is, oh, there we go, in the books. Second half of our flight upcoming. Let's get the taxi lights on. Flaps are going to be set to 5. 1, 2, 3. We will go ahead into the continuous ignition, and let's retrim. We spun that up a little bit as we were going. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Niner 62. I will double check that altimeter. It seems like that's pretty much the same as what we had coming in. Niner 62. There we go. Boy, oh boy. The CaptainSim add-ons, I tell you what, they're nice, they're cool, but boy, do they put a hurt on your FPS. Things still work, but you just kind of have to be used to a little bit of choppiness. And then all of a sudden, like that, it gets fairly smooth, so I don't know. There she is. I used to love these little short, stubby 737s, man. Back in the day when you were a little kid, boy, these things were just like getting on the Concorde. The wind is blowing my rudder around. Jeez, look at that. That's wild. That's not me. That is, that's the wind. Oh, I'm losing my taxi snuff here a little bit. Let's get the momentum built back up. Alright, oh, I need to turn my packs on. Jeez Louise. That comes off. Alright. Anything else here going crazy? I might need to think a little bit about anti-icing as we get going. There's a few storms that I'm looking at on the map in between here and Denver, so let's get the weather radar back on. Nothing I don't think to worry about on the climb out per se, but again, if we end up getting ourselves into some cloudy conditions, certainly we'll throw those on, because the outside air temp right now is yeah, we're -1 Celsius, so we're definitely in the freezing range. Okay. Rapid City traffic, United 816. We'll be departing runway 14 IFR to the south, Rapid City. Final looks clear. Runway is clear. Landing lights can come on. Like I say, I figured we'd be getting pushing dusk here by the time we get to Denver, and I think we will. So technically we have a little bit of a threshold if we want it, but I don't think we're going to need it. See if I can actually get lined up a little bit better without wasting a bunch of real estate this time. There we go. That's a little better. All right. Altimeter set. Flaps are set. Lights on. We're gonna be tracking Rapid City, which is 12.3, which is what we have tuned in, and we need to be 177 on departures. Let's get that updated here. Okay, now we're looking for 30,000 feet. 2.10 maximum on the EPR for takeoff. Now we've got 2 good engines spooling up. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. V1. Rotates. Gear up. It's a blast to hand fly, that's all I know. And this course is going to be the same, 174. And actually, we should have stayed runway heading until we intercepted that. That's my mistake. Alright, flaps are coming up. Alright, so we'll fly 160. Heading mode set. Thousand feet per minute climb. Wow, look at that sucker go, man. They could really climb, I tell you what. They could go. See you later, Rapid City. Yeah, we're about 170. We might be a little bit slow on the climb. Go ahead and nudge the nose down just a little bit. Let's pick up some speed here now that we're getting close to 10,000. Bring our EPR back to about 200. Get our continuous climb power set. Try to get our speed up there close to 300. Okay, through 10,000. Nose climbed up a little bit here. Leveling off. We'll turn the landing lights off. Taxi lights off. And continuous ignition can be turned off. There's 300. Alright, back to the climb. And yes, I am seeing that lightning in the distance. I do know it's coming. We're going to have to be a little proactive here, aren't we? These are some storm clouds. We're going to have to take this into account. Our wing anti-ice will come on, and our engine anti-ice will come on. We already have pitos and window heat on. Okay, that's our anti-icing system. And yes, this does simulate icing. I've learned that the hard way. David for DW, hello. Hello, happy Sunday, my friend. Hey, and guess who flew through the outbound course? This guy. Alright, well, we'll try to pick it up here on the backside, and we can also have Scotts Bluff. That's our next one. 12.6. I can go ahead and tune that in. That'll give us a feel. Yeah, we're 109 miles away there, so. Alright, we are going to get into some turbulence, I would guess. Maybe we'll punch right through this stuff and be good to go. Actually, it wasn't too bad, was it? Airspeed's dropping a little bit, so I'll nudge that nose forward. We're still climbing 2,000, 2,500 feet a minute. That's pretty good. Yeah, they just were not the most fuel efficient birds in the world, were they? 2-9er, 9er 2. Speed's doing okay. I probably could reduce the climb a little bit. We do need 300, so we don't want to, we can't totally level off, and I know we're not going to carry 3,000 or 300 feet per minute though. 300 KIAS the whole climb here, but we can at least help ourselves out a little bit. Yeah, David, everybody's doing pretty good around these parts. Been kind of quiet on the chat tonight. I don't know if everybody's just tired or gearing up for tomorrow, or there's a lot of heavy hitters on tonight. Ground Point Niner I know is on. Live Fly Guy, Agent Bravo 7 is flying. Sim Caesar's flying. Chili Willies, Brad M. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Cockpit Builders is on. So you know, lots of heavy hitter streamers out there tonight. So yeah, lots of competition. Not exactly picking up that outbound Rapid City guy yet, are we? I see it maybe nudging back in here. At least follow that part way, and then, like I said, after we get out a while, we are tuning in the Scotts Bluff VOR 112.6. And it's the Lander 1 approach. As soon as we kind of get up to cruise, we'll take a quick look at that approach and see what we need to be preparing for. Take a look at the Denver weather as well. I'm kind of bummed out we lost Denver Center. And the worst part, so the worst part of the whole deal is we took off in Minneapolis Center and Denver was online. And then as soon as we got to Denver Center, they went offline and Minneapolis came online. So we basically timed that as badly as you could time it. Altitude alert. We're within. Well, we had it set at 260. That's not what it is now. We want 300. So let's. Yeah, we had it set at 240. Sorry. So let's spin that up to 300. Okay, picking up the outbound radial here. Just about time to switch over and track Scotts Bluff inbound. There's some lightning popping all around us right now, I tell you what. Yeah, don't scare me like that, Northwest Orient. They should be up. Let's look. Let's just make sure. Flaps are, yep, flaps are 0 right now, so we're good to go. $270, 3,000 to go. I am loading up on the other screen what the Lander 1 approach is going to look like. And we're going to need to get weather. My guess is we're probably going to be landing south. That's what we've, that's been our departure and our arrivals all night long. Wind has just been favoring that. Yeah, downwind, the ATC running from me. How was flaps 1, huh? Okay. You saw the slats hanging out there. Well, maybe well, just clicked the button a couple times just to make sure. Yeah, could have been. Good catch, Northwest. Good catch, man. Appreciate the extra eyes. All right, we're just about to the halfway point, and time to swap out and track Scotts Bluff inbound. Let's just take a look here. Looks like I need the 356 outbound radial to track. Okay. How close are we going to be on that? I think we're actually right on it. 356, so we should be able to just flip straight over and have really no adjustment. But I am going to engage the heading mode just in case, because it does have a tendency to be a little bit kind of herky-jerky when you switch frequencies. But first, let's get leveled off at 300. There we go. All right. You know what else we forgot to do? We needed to give ourselves a little bit of extra pressure here. And a little bit of extra altitude here. Because Denver is 5450. Oh, that's the highest I can get it. 5,000. All right. That'll work. Okay, let's engage heading mode. Like I say, just to make sure, let's flip over to Scotts Bluff 112.6. Shouldn't really be any change at all. It's a slight change, I guess. So we can nudge that over maybe a little more gently with the heading mode than we can with the VOR localizer mode. Try to get that intercepted. Alright, dial that in. Should be pretty close. Should still need a little bit of a track adjustment. Maybe it'll kind of keep wandering a little bit to the east there. For the most part, I think we're in pretty good shape. Alright, well, we've got a second. Let's brief the arrival into Denver. The Lander 1 arrival looks like this. So we'll be crossing Scotts Bluff. getting a dry throat. We'll be coughing. We'll be taking a sip of water. Oh no, that's not on the arrival. Over Scotts Bluff, down here to Libby. Until I've been talking too much. And Libby looks like that is a '78. Looks like a 78 DME or 78 mile leg. 63 must be 63 to Glimmer, and then 78 into Libby. Then we're going to turn. We're going to track direct Mile High VOR, and we do need to be down 17,000 at Lander. That's the only altitude restriction on the arrival. What does the weather say, you ask? Well, it is 020 at 6, so actually this is going to be favoring a departure to, or excuse me, an arrival to the north, an approach, if I can get my words right, approach to the north. All right. With it only being 6 knots, you really could land any direction you wanted, to be totally honest. What would we prefer? You know, it would still make the most sense to land coming straight in, but I think what we'll do, yeah, we'll probably come down here and pick up one of the 3.5s. 3.5 left, I think, would be our choice. So I need to do that Lander. Will that allow us? I think it would. We just have to kind of vector ourselves like here at flat, vector ourselves south, and almost essentially a right-hand traffic pattern into 3.5 left. All right. I think we will do that. So looking at 3.5 left, then I need to be down to 11,000 at Krupp, which is the initial approach fix. Alright, so 17,000 at Lander and 11 at Krupp. Sounds doable. Let's make it happen. So we're 19 miles from Scotts Bluff. We go outbound from Scotts Bluff on the what's outbound. Nope, we start the arrival at Scotts Bluff. What's our 173? So we should be heading. Yeah, so we'll need a little bit of an adjustment here. There's 180. There's 170. 1, 2, 3. That'll be a little bit of a left-hand turn once we pass the VOR here. And then we're outbound on that VOR again for 78 DME. I am going to go ahead and just put in Mile High 14.7 down here in the nav2, just so I have an idea how close I'm getting to Denver. May not pick it up right away. 141 miles away from Denver is all. So when I pass Scotts Bluff, I have 78 miles and then another 20. So about 100 miles to drop 13,000 feet. So I need 130 miles at 1,000 feet per minute, so about 65. So I'll give myself a little bit of a buffer maybe, and we'll say, let's Let's give ourselves about 90 miles, which would mean basically right now start that descent. Okay. Let's pop heading mode first though, because we're starting to wander around that VOR. The closer you get, the less accurate it gets, and this plane has a bad tendency of trying to follow stuff. Do I have I need that. There we go, thank you. Alright, heading mode select. We can go ahead and we'll start a little bit early. This course eventually has to be 173. There we are, right over the top. We have no localizer information here for just a second. And then it'll come back in. Okay, let's pull the power back. We're going to start the descents. Kind of let that speed get down. We were close to overspeeding there. I wasn't watching that too closely. That would not have been good. Okay, the weather radar is not showing really any precipitation, but again, as we get into the clouds, okay, I had left all this on. I'm going to leave it on. I should have probably turned it off when I got up on top. Alright, there comes our speed. Let's push the nose down gently. Let's look for 2,000 feet a minute. Ooh, pretty close. Pretty close, right about there. And altitude alert 17,000. 17,000. Hey, Starflies. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Look, I had P3D paint the sky just for you. Matches that Stinson you were flying the other night. I trust you made it into Bella Coola safe and sound. Sorry I couldn't stick around. I had something come up there, and I missed that last little leg, but yeah, nice sky. Kind of the southern South Dakota, northern. Well, actually, we're just past Scotts Bluff, so we're into Nebraska right now. But it's been a nice night. We're on descent into Denver, Colorado. Good. Glad to hear it. It was a lively crowd. You were definitely entertaining them, and it was fun to hang out. It was just a good day all the way around. We did a little bit of a similar route as you heard, and that's a super fun area to fly, no doubt about it. It was kind of cool to watch somebody else fly basically that same route. It's really, really awesome country up there. Starflies, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, was up in the British Columbia area yesterday, tootling around the Mockmill fishing camp in Bella Coola. And I forgot where you departed from initially, but just up there horsing around in the mountains. Yeah. All right, so at when we get to 78, that's when we're going to make the turn. That's That's the Libby intersection. That's what so we're coming down here through Scotts Bluff on this 173. We're going to pass Glimmer here in just a couple. We're going to hit Libby, and at Libby we need to turn 218 and we'll start tracking direct to that Mile High VOR. Powell River, that's right. Yep, Powell River. So I had asked you, and things were fast and furious, so I know you didn't probably have a chance to see it, but I don't know if you're familiar with the LP Nils scenery developer, but if you're not, he's got a bunch of airports up there, very similar to Mockmel Fishery, that if you enjoyed that, you should go check him out. LP Nils, N-I-L-S. He's got a nice collection. He's done a lot of work up there in that British Columbia area, and a nice guy too. We've reached out to him several times to tell him how much we appreciate his work and how much fun we've had with his scenery. His problem is, I think he lives in Germany, and so every time we're trying to fly, it's like 2 in the morning on a Tuesday, and he's got to work, so he hasn't been able to join us just yet. We're still hoping to catch him one of these days. Hey, Kenny Monster. Yeah, it's like I say, it's a good. He's got just a bunch of stuff out there, and I think I stopped counting at like 30 airfields. So enjoy. If you're curious as to what they look like, you can go back on the downwindsim.com website, and I think the second Bush League adventure, the second month, is we flew in the Nemaya Valley area, and it was all, we flew like 7 of his 12 or 6 of his 12 airstrips, kind of right around these lakes, and pretty interesting stuff, so you get a little bit of a feel for it. But oh, downwind. Shh. Supposed to keep that on the down low, man. Keep that up. Oh, that's where he's from. It's New Zealand. I thought you were talking about something else. That's where LP Nils is from, New Zealand. All right, 1,000 to go. Wow, and I have again grossly overestimated the amount of time I need to descend. Wow, what the? Oh, my aching math skills. Okay, well, we've suddenly turned this into a stepped approach. That's all right. Well, you've got a day. It's tomorrow is the day, and if you got a little bit of time, because there are some scenery things that you need to set up, but I don't know if you're. I think I remember you being familiar with ortho. There's one ortho tile, there's one OSM file, and there are seven or 8 little bush strips to install, but you've got until 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow to do it, and yeah, be cool to have you along. It's a good group. Okay, well, yeah, I'm way early, and again, my math is way off. I guess better to be a little early than a little late as far as the descent goes. Ah, very good, very good. I think we've simplified it each month. We've made it a little bit easier. We've kind of learned from our mistakes, excuse me, as it were, and hopefully we've made it a little bit easier for folks to get everything set up. The first few, we had some people that that didn't have any of the scenery, and they just kind of flew around with us because it was just a neat area. And little by little, folks started seeing what was on our streams, you know, what the scenery looked like on Downwind Sim and my streams, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, I want that. And so then they've started to started to get those scenery packages installed, and I think it's just, I mean, not only is it fun for the day, but it also just is a nice little package that you can, you know, start collecting pretty cool sceneries from around the world. And we've definitely had our fair share of really amazing places that we've flown. So hopefully you'll be able to get that installed, and hopefully everybody, so far so good. The word I'm hearing is people are enjoying it so far. They've been out practicing a little bit. No mistakes, Kenny. Yeah, right. I actually have to go back to work tomorrow. I have enjoyed my spring break thoroughly. Yeah, it's tough to beat Denali for scenery. This is gonna compare, I think, though. My own personal opinion is I think this is, as far as the seaplane bases, I think this, folks are going to enjoy this more. I don't think necessarily the overall scenic beauty is any better necessarily, but I just think it's so different flying in the Canyonlands and some of these strips. It's just so unique. I think that's going to be. I've enjoyed myself flying these little bush strips even more than those than the seaplane bases myself. But practicing, practice. Talking about practice. Don't make me go Allen Iverson on you guys. Alright, well, we are still, gosh, we're supposed to be 78, so we're still like 13 from Libby, and then we have to turn for 21 miles. That's when we were supposed to be at 17, so I did a bad job. 13,000. Maybe I was thinking 130,000. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I'll have to go back and watch the stream and see where my math went horribly wrong. But from Libby, when we turn here in just a few, about 9 miles, 218 by the way, so let's get that preloaded here in the heading bug. We'll be, from here on out, we'll be tracking inbound to Denver. We do need to, because the weather is still favoring, still favoring an approach to the north, so we're still going to be looking at ILS 35 left. Might be able just to turn that into a visual approach 35 left. It looks like things are pretty good down low here. I'm actually going to go ahead and take my anti-icing off. Could be a little quicker than this. I don't need to be down 230 just yet. Okay, 4 miles. I might as well start making that turn here. Takes this little tubey a minute or two to get that turn, although this isn't the worst turn in the world. There is no practicing, it's called looking ahead. 14.7 now is where we want to be tracking, and with any luck here we will be somewhere close to look at that rollout. It's almost like it was meant to be. Wow. Slight correction back to the left. Inbound we go. And we are planning on making a turn here. When we get 6.6 DME, we're going to make our turn downwind and fly our right-hand traffic pattern into runway 35 left. This one might, hopefully it won't take us a little bit of the old S-turn correction here, but looks like it's doing a better job of tracking that guy. And then we have to be down at 11,000 for the initial approach fix. And I think what I may do for that is, as soon as we start heading, south, probably head 190. As soon as we make that downwind leg, I think I'll start the descent down to 11,000. Oh, I need to set the altimeter here since I'm at 17. What do we have Denver-wise? 2972. See how far off I am. Yeah, a little bit low. A little bit low because of that. It'll adjust automatically, get it back up to 17. And we are kind of doing the overcorrect thing. I don't know why it does that, but just every now and again it will not just lock right on that radio. It'll just keep swinging back and forth. Take 6, hello. Hello and welcome. This is a little bit of a nostalgia stream. Those of you that joined me late, the significance of this stream is just that. It's a stream that I did back in October of last year, and it just is simply retracing an old flight that I used to do as a kid. We actually used to take off from a small town in central Wyoming, and we'd fly 90 miles to the east to another small town in east central Wyoming. We would land. 12 or 15 people would get off, 12 or 15 people would get on. We'd take off, we'd fly sometimes to another town about 2 hours away, or sometimes all the way down to Denver, which is where we're going here. We would land, 10 or 20 people would get off, 10 or 20 people would get on, then we'd fly up to Rapid City, which is just, again, an hour and a half or so. We would land, same drill, and then we'd fly another 30 minutes farther east and land one final time. So, a 14-hour car ride ended up being about probably about a 6-hour plane ride, but definitely a lot more entertaining. And you could get off. I remember you could get off the plane, you could go have a snack. They gave you like 15-20 minutes to kind of get your ducks in a row, use the bathroom if you needed to, and then make sure you're back on before the stewardess closed the door. 737-200 downwind sim. The P3D version of what FlyJSim is offering right now, what's on sale. Ooh, I'm in some haze and mist. I wonder if I should put my anti-icing back on. Yeah, look at that old beauty. Still catching a little bit of the evening light around here, so Kind of nice. Oh, center fuel tanks finally have been emptied. And yeah, we're still looking good here. 7,800 pounds of fuel. That should get us the final 30 miles or so without any problem. Heck, we might even be able to divert to Colorado Springs if we need to. Still trying to grab that radial. The elusive Mile High where are we? 218 outbound radio. No, 218 inbound radio. Sorry. Alright, I think we're pretty close. Arm that VOR localizer mode, and in we go. Just about 18 miles before we turn. We'll head south. We'll descend to 11,000. And I think I see Denver kind of down there. Should see those lights pop on here anytime. Oh, hey, there you go, take 6. I like the Colorado Springs area. Awful big for me, but pretty. Okay, we're going to be turning, like I said, we're going to be turning, heading 190 as soon as we get going. Oh yeah, Pikes Peak, Flatirons are down there. Lots of that Front Range is a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Lots and lots of people. I have not done the incline railway. I heard it's well worth it though. It's a favorite of my grandson's because there's a lot of YouTube videos about that out that have that. He loves to watch any kind of, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's a steam train. He loves watching those steam trains. Yeah. Oh, okay. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, so United will be the Alpha terminal, and let's figure out where we are going here. I don't have a gate in mind. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll get on the ground here, and we'll see if GSX can lead us into an appropriate gate there in the Alpha terminal. Let's just get a little sense for what we're looking at here though first. Concourse Alpha. So we'll be looking at picking up something like in the 40s, it looks like. Okay, that'll work. That'll work. Alright, so coming up 6.6 DME is when we want to make the turn. I think we're a mile from it. I think that's probably plenty close. Go ahead and make that turn. And let's go ahead then and let's get localizer information in for the approach. Okay, in the meantime, okay, I've got the mile high VOR, so we need 108.5. That's going to be our localizer frequency, and then 353 is going to be the course. Spin that around. Okay, yeah, so we're pretty well on the downwind here, and I need to start to descend to 11,000. Nudge that forward. Let's set our altitude reminder. That's got to be the altitude for our initial fix. Our initial fix, by the way, is out at 19.8 DME. So we're still inbound. This should be counting up here pretty soon. Okay, so that's the, got to be 19 or 20 DME from DME 2 here. No, I take that back. 17.9 is what I need. 17.9. Let's get the right DME tuned in here. That's the one that we want to be 19.8 from. We got to be 11,000 at 19.8, and then we can turn inbound and we can start to do our thing here. Do we see any lights yet over there? Is that it? I don't know if that's it or not. Denver Traffic United 816. We are about 10 miles to the northeast of the field. We're on the right downwind looking for the ILS 35 left, Denver. Probably descend a little bit more than 500 feet a minute, but I don't need to go crazy here. 1,000 will be good. And maybe a little bit more. If we go missed, by the way, we are going to climb to 10,000. We're going to make a right-hand turn to the GLL VOR and hold. Actually, what we will do is climb to 10,000 and enter right traffic pattern, since there's nobody here, no ATC to guide us.
Hey, United 310, runway vacated.
And when we get on the ground, we're looking for a left-hand exit on Mike 6. And then we'll hang a first left-hand into the gate at Alpha Alpha. And I think we're going to just try to shoot for Alpha 4, Alpha 4-4. That sounds like a good round number for us here. Okay, I'm going to put the landing and taxi lights on now because I know I will forget if I don't. It's a little bit early. Trust me, I know. We're going to go ignition continuous. We have all of the stuff that we need on here. Altimeter is set. We're 14 DME. We need to be down here at 11,000 at 19, what did I say, 19.8? What was it? Yeah, 19.8, so we got to get down a little bit further. Get below that. Yeah, see, we're still above the glide slope here. We do have our localizer, which is nice. Take 6. I'll be honest with you, I'm about 90% lost flying this airplane right now. So don't feel bad. Let's do this. A little bit nicer, a little bit easier on the eyes. Alright, everything's pretty well configured. We just need to get ourselves down 11,000, which 1,000 to go right there, and then we'll make our turn. We're 18.6. Actually start making our turn here in just a bit. Denver traffic, United 816. We're 20 miles south of the field. We'll be turning inbound, runway 35 left, Denver. Okay, we're actually out past the glide slope now. We'll start the turn. I am gonna click altitude hold. And we'll make our way in right now. Let's see. We need any kind of a base. Let's turn 270. Let's see. And we're out. We're almost 4 miles past where we need to be, so I think we could probably track about 300. Just kind of track it on an angle here and intercept. So not really a true base to final here. We're just vectoring to intercept the localizer. We'll stay here at 11,000. Speed's looking good. About 230. Actually, could probably be a little bit higher if I wanted to, but I'll just kind of keep it there just to keep things from happening too quickly. Alright, landing light, taxi lights on, engine starts are on continuous, frequency, heading set. Ooh, I need to set the auto brakes. I think I forgot to do that last time. Auto brakes, wherefore art thou? Auto brakes are in a different spot in this plane. And I don't remember where they are. Uh-oh, now I'm frozen. Don't you dare. Are they down here? Auto brakes? Where are you, auto brakes? Come on, I know you're here somewhere. Alright. I'm gonna wait till I get established. Downwind, where are my auto brakes? Pilot's head on straight. Oh, now the speed brake is here, and it's armed. The auto brakes are what kind of assist the manual braking as your reversers are coming in. Okay, there we go, guys. We're going to arm the approach. We're going to fly right through it, unfortunately. We're going to S-turn just a little bit here. That's just kind of how this baby rolls. There is the glide slope. So we should start the descent here shortly as well. Denver Center, United 816, 18 miles south. We're established 35 left, Denver. Never mind that we're clear over in 34 right's track here, but alright. Do we have it? Do we not have it? We don't have it. Why are we not dropping? Why are we not descending? Whoops, what have I done here? I gotta turn this back on. See what's going on. Oh, there we go. Now we're on. Now we're on it. Okay. You can come back off. I'm gonna put a few notches of flaps in here. Go flaps 5. There we come. There's our runway that we need eventually here, guys. And like I say, hopefully it's not going to zig us and zag us too far. If it does, then I'll just take it and fly it in manually. I want to just see if I can get it lined up and halfway established here first. Alright, 12 DME. We want to be fully configured no later than 4. I'm going to have gear down at 7. There we go. That's a little bit more gentle. We're a little bit high on the glide.
Denver traffic, United 720 base turn.
Auto brake is right by the gear, I'm hearing.
United 720 Denver traffic.
Okay. There it is.
Denver traffic.
We're going to go,
taking runway 25
we'll go medium auto
westbound
brake.
departure
Thank you
Denver.
very much, Downwind Sim. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about.
With you, we'll just sort of 3-4 right. Waiting for that.
It's not the best CFI in the business for nothing, folks. Okay, there's 11 DME. And we're on a little bit high, glide slope wise. Speed looks good. Again, we're looking for, what am I looking for? A ref speed of 145. So I like the approach to be about 160 if I can get it there. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. All right. Kenny, don't clip that. All right, there is 5 DME. We're going to go gear down. Flaps to 30. All right. And gear down. Flaps 30 fully configured by 4.
Denver traffic, Delta 867 is clear of the runway.
Denver traffic, United 816. 3 mile final, 35 left, Denver. They're taking off on 16. Why? Why,
Denver traffic, Delta 1093 is north of Steel for ILS 34
Thank
right.
you. Thanks for backing me up there, guy. Winds are now 070, so actually it's crosswind no matter what. Alright, autopilot off. Speed is a little bit low. Let's get some power back in here.
How far was that last call for 3-4 right? How far out were you?
4 right.
I'm just crossing over the field now, so far out.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going to predict here, but
Denver traffic, Boeing 465, take it with you, departing off runway 34
I'm
right.
just hoping to put on a little better landing
Denver.
display on this one than I did at Rapid City. It truly was Kilo Romeo Alpha Papa, that last landing.
Denver traffic, United 720 on a 14-mile final 434 left. Denver traffic.
was a little better. Almost on the center line. Okay, reversers. Can we get this high speed? I think we can. That's the one we were hoping for. Hey, hey, hey. Denver traffic, United 816, clear 35 left. Okay. Let's get all the way off here and plot our attack coming in. That was a little better. Okay, a little bit better, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Alright, up we go. Okay, let's clean the flaps up. Let's get our auto brake. Turn back off. We don't need the landing lights anymore. Oops. I am going to turn these lights back on though, just so I can see what I'm doing here. And what else? I can turn the, I don't need the weather radar on anymore. Let's see if I can get let's see if I can get a little GSX into Alpha 44 Concourse A. This is about the only thing that still works for me on GSX. Hey, 44. Do I want to follow me? Nah, we know where it's at. And we need United, right? Yeah. United. Okay, those guys will be waiting for us. Let's just make sure there's nobody coming on the old taxiway. Have no idea that way, but we'll just keep it rolling here. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Denver International Airport. Hey, 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 Black Fox 403. I didn't see much of the chat coming in, but I like what I'm seeing right there, my friend. I like it, I like it. Yeah, Downwind, are you just realizing what I was trying to spell out there? It was that's what we call in the business a play on woods. Actually, I think you probably do know what I was saying here. I missed out on half of the conversation, I'm sure.
Turning left downwind runway 34 left, Denver.
All right, let's get a feel for where we're at. We want Alpha Alpha, which is our first turn here, I believe. If we don't get Alpha Alpha, we need Alpha Sierra.
Traffic, Sun Country 73, turning out 6 on funnel 3 top left.
There's our
Delta 10,
that's where we want to be. All right, I think
final,
we'll take
runway 34 right.
we'll take Alpha Sierra here. This can come off. This is fine where it's at. Normally my first officer would be cleaning up for me here. Boy, look at those frames. Stutter, 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 stutter. Torpedoes can come off. Window heat can come off. Don't have any anti-ice on anymore. Okay, so now we have to look for
Denver traffic, United 720, clear 34 right.
about halfway down on this side, on our right hand side, should be Alpha 44, and we should see a bunch of GSX dudes waiting for us. Yaw damper can come off. I think that's about all I can turn off right now. Let's get on this line so we don't run our wing into something. So lots of good predictions there. I can't wait to get to him, even though there's really nothing we can do. You're going to have something else to become Captain Awesome tonight. Alright, hey there, I think I see our guys. I think I see them. 42. Yeah, there they are. Alright, alright, alright. I do like the GSX concept. I really truly do like the GSX concept. I purchased it right, but it was literally the last thing right before I got X-Plane, and I just haven't taken the time to kind of troubleshoot it like I need to.
Denver traffic
Turn
going
in
46
here.
Tango Whiskey 737 200 turning west base runway
Hi,
34
Mom.
left Denver.
It's up. Oh yeah, it's out in the freezer. Okay, here's my guy. Lights are off, so he's not being blinded, because I'm a nice guy like that.
Star traffic, Container 73 is off, 35 right.
And we're down. Are you waving at me? Pretty good. Hey, let's turn this baby off here. We can, let's see, hydro pumps come off. Packs are going to come off here. Actually, I'll turn all the bleeds off. I don't think I'll worry about
Delta 10, 93 is clear up runway
the
34 right.
APU back on at this time. Alright. Engines can be shut
Denver
off.
Boeing 465 Tango Whiskey 7 mile final runway 34 left Denver.
I can't control, unfortunately, I can't control the SOD jetways either. That's another thing I needed to, I really needed to kind of troubleshoot a little bit better before I just jump straight into X-Plane and kind of get, honestly, kind of get lost in X-Plane, but it's okay. It works good enough for what I need, and I'm still happy with it. All right, battery can be turned off. The lights need to be, I don't know why they're still on. Do I have an emergency light? Oh, it's armed. No, it should be off. Off. Armed off. Yeah, I don't know why. I have no battery power, but somehow I still have light in the cabin here. All right, there we go. That looks better. All right, let's see. So we'll close up shop here. Let me check on the chat here, and then we'll call it good. So let's see what's going on. What is going on here? Downwind Sim found the auto brake. He's probably in the running for Captain Awesome just for that. Take 6 honeymoon to steamboat. Okay, we were talking about that. Look over there. Look over there. Kenny Monster predicting negative 141. It was probably pretty close to that. I'm thinking it was probably about a mid 150, maybe a little higher. Yeah, 4-day for me, the same thing. Sorry, guys. At some point in time, I got to get that landing rate thing fixed or configured for P3D. I just don't quite have it there. Downwind Sim predicts and actually declares himself the winner. So, yeah, yeah, definitely not gonna make you Captain Awesome for that. I'm sorry there. Yeah. Oh, and Black Fox 403 predicting baked goods. I like that. I like that. Easy when it's not rigged, Kenny says. Yeah. All right. What else? What else? Kathy says more coming for Downwind Sim. Black Fox I was going to make you Captain Awesome, but since your wife is shipping Downwind Sim the first round of goodies, yeah, that's not going to happen. So, um, just kidding. Just kidding. All right. That sounds good. Well, hey guys, it's been fun. Let me pull up something here real quick and show you what's coming up next, because this is only day 5 of 20, and but hard to believe we're a fourth of the way through already. It's been a blast. It's been a blast. We've spent 4 of the first 5 days in P3D, so as you might imagine, we're going to have some X-plane action coming at you here soon. So, and tomorrow it's the Coronado 152 with the NH Adrian mod. It's of course Bush League Monday, so we'll be down there in Utah in the X-plane world having some fun, and I hope you can join us there. Again, there's information on the downwindsim.com website. Go check it out. There are a few things to install, but we've kept it pretty simple, and you'll definitely want the install. These are not default airstrips that are kind of there, but that don't just look very good. They're flat out not like 2 of the 8 airstrips might be there, but the rest of them are not. So you've got to have this if you want to really experience what's going on. Now, if you don't download the airstrips, there's plenty of places to land. I mean, it's you guys know what that Canyonlands look like. There's mesas all over the place. So I mean, you could still have some fun, but you're just not going to be a part of the little competition that we have set up. So that's what's coming up tomorrow, and then you can see the rest of the schedule. Again, it's all the way through the 20th, and then on the 20th, not only will we be debuting a new plane, but we'll be giving away a $25 gift certificate to xplane.org. And all you have to do to be entered is exactly what you're doing in the chat window right now. Just reach out, connect, say hey, what's going on, participate. You can also catch me over on the Discord and do the same thing. And then you can, haven't had this happen yet, I might actually give bonus points to the first person that does this, but I do archive these over on Melvin Leroy, the YouTube channel. And if you just hop in there and give a hey, what's going on in the YouTube channel, that's another way that you can get entered into the drawing. So a lot of people so far. It's been kind of cool, like getting up close to 40 people so far that are entered. So that's awesome. And again, this is the reason why I'm doing this, is just to celebrate the fun that I've had with these 20 airplanes, but more importantly, the fun that I've had, hanging out with you guys. And so the $25 gift certificate, just a small token of my appreciation. But anyway, everybody, again, thanks for coming in. You need to get to bed because there's work tomorrow, guys. Go to bed and have a great week in whatever you do. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow night. Until then, take care. God bless.